Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to discuss about abstract base class. Abstract base class, we can say it is one of the blueprint or template class, or we can say it is a model. And when we need this abstract base class, whenever we don't want to concentrate on the implementation part of the class methods. That means whenever we are going to create only the design, we don't concentrate on we don't want the exact implementation of that design. In that case, we can move on to abstract base class. So, which base class we can say it is abstract base class. Suppose in one base class, if we are considering minimum one abstract method, then that method we can say it is an abstract base class. And within an abstract base class, it is not necessary always we should include only only the abstract method. We can include the concrete method also. So, class concrete method means within that method, if we are having the definition, that means the implementation part also present, then that method we can say it is a concrete method. And abstract method means it is a method, it doesn't have any implementation part. That means within the abstract method, we are not having the function body, we just include only the function header part. So, that type of methods all are we can say it is an abstract method. And for the abstract base class, we can't create the instance. For the ordinary class only, the interpreter will allow the object creation. For the abstract base class, we can't create the object. So then where we can expand the definition of the abstract method which is present in the abstract base class, we can move on to the derived classes only. So that means which subclass or which derived class we are going to derived or inherit from the abstract base class. Within that base class, we have to redefine what all the abstract methods are present within a base class. So, within a subclass, we have to define or we have to redefine all the base class abstract method. Suppose if I redefined only few abstract method, we never redefine all the base class abstract method means then that subclass also, that derived class also will become one of the abstract class. So that within a subclass we have to redefine all the base class abstract method. Then we can say the subclass is a concrete class. So concrete class is nothing but it is one class. Within that we are having the implementation part for all the methods, then that type of class we can say concrete class. So in abstract base class, what are all the subclasses we are going to consider to redefine the base class abstract method? All the subclasses we can say it is a concrete class. And in order to implement the abstract base class in Python, we have to import the ABC module, because by default we can't implement the abstract base class in Python. So that we should use this predefined module ABC. From this predefined module, we should import this predefined ABC class as well as this abstract method. So now I will move on to few examples in Python how can we create an abstract base class. So in this example, I have considered one class called a test. And actually I told already within Python programming we are not having direct implementation for the abstract base class, so that my abstract base class I should consider as a derived class for the predefined ABC class. So ABC is nothing but it is an abstract base class only. So where we are having this ABC class definition, it should be present under a ABC module. So before the class definition, first of all we have to import this ABC class as well as this abstract method from the ABC module. Then within a test class I am going to include one method called the display method. So this display method I am going to consider as an abstract method. So abstract method means already we know we don't want to include the function body, method body. We don't want to consider the implementation part for the method. So that just I will specify only the pass keyword. And suppose if I will specify only the pass keyword, then the interpreter will not consider this display as an abstract method. So in order to consider this display is a abstract method, we should specify this at abstract method. So we have to consider a decorator. And then after we have completed a test class definition, now I have created an object for the test class, then I will invoke a display method. So while I am executing this program, what happen, automatically the interpreter will throw an type error. So why it will throw this error? Because this test class is a abstract base class, so that for this abstract base class we can't create an object. So why the interpreter will not support the object creation for the abstract base class? Because for the abstract base class, the entire class definition is not yet completed, so that we can't create a object for the abstract class. So in order to overcome that error, we should move on to the derived classes. So once again, I will consider the same abstract base class test. Within that, I will include one method called display method. And then from the test class, I have inherited one class called sample. So now the sample class I am going to consider as a derived class for the test abstract class, and within that I have included one method called display method. So what is this display method? Actually, this display method I am going to redefine the abstract method which is present in the test base class. So I can't consider a different name here. I should consider the same abstract method only, abstract method name only. So what is the statement here I have considered? Just I will print one message. This method redefine the base class abstract method. So that this statement only I want to display. So after that, now for which class I should create an object? For the sample class only. So now the sample class will act as a concrete class, so that the interpreter will allow to create an object for the sample class. Now I will make a call for the display method, so automatically the interpreter will move on to this method, then I am getting this output for this program. And then again I will consider another example, some data member as well as some constructor I have included within an abstract base class. So what is the base class here I have considered? It is a shape class, as well as this is not a normal base class. I am going to consider it should be inherited from the predefined ABC class. And within a shape class I have included one constructor called init, and then for the shape class I am having the data member called A in order to store the area of one shape. So this data member I am going to consider as a protected data member, then only I can use the data member in my derived classes. And then within a shape class I have included three abstract methods. So one is a input data method, and another one is a area calculation method, and then third one is a perimeter method. So this shape class, just I will consider it is one of the model in order to calculate the area as well as perimeter for any shape. So whenever we are going to consider one shape, I need to calculate the area as well as perimeter, so that the outline design where we are going to consider within a shape class, as well as within a shape class I am going to include one data member called area, because for all the shapes we are having that area calculation. Okay, and then next I am going to create one derived class for the shape class, that is a square. So within a square class, once again I have included one constructor, and within that I have included one private data member called side. What about the initial value for the side data member? It is 0. And then I have now within a square class I have redefined the input method in order to get the input for the side value. Then I can once again I have to redefine the area method of my abstract base class to calculate the area value. And then perimeter method, once again I have redefined. Within that I have included one parameter called P. So within this P, now I am going to store the perimeter value. So finally I am going to print the perimeter value. Suppose within my square class I never include the definition for this perimeter class. I will just consider only for the input data as well as area. So now what happened, while you are creating an object for that square class, automatically the interpreter will throw an error, because the square class also will consider as a abstract base class only. It is not comes under a concrete class. So this is one of the derived class from the shape abstract base class, and once again I will consider one more derived class for the shape class, that is a rectangle class. So rectangle also one of the derived class from the shape class. Within a constructor, I will consider this length and breadth value. Initially these two value I am going to consider as 0. And again this rectangle is a derived class from the shape abstract class. So that I should override the input data of my shape class, area class as well as perimeter class. I should override the input abstract method, area abstract method as well as perimeter abstract method of the shape abstract base class. So within the input method, I just redefine the definition in order to get the input for length and breadth value. And then this area method I am going to use to calculate the rectangle area by using this length and then breadth value. So this length and breadth is actually we are going to consider as a private attribute only, so that I can use within a rectangle class. But area I can take it as a protected data member. And then perimeter, within that I will consider one P as the data member value. So now I am going to store the rectangle perimeter value within a P. After we have completed the two derived classes definition for the shape class. So from the shape, I will just consider two derived classes. One is a square class and another one is rectangle. So now I am going to redefine the shape base class abstract method within a two derived classes, square class as well as rectangle class. So then only I can create an object for the square class as well as for rectangle class. So now for the square class I have created an object called S, and then for rectangle class I have created an object called R. Now using this for loop iterator sequence I am going to get the input for one shape and I will calculate the area as well as perimeter. So whenever I will consider the first object, now we are going to get the input for the square, then I am going to calculate the area of square, then I will print the perimeter, so that I am getting this output. So first I will get the side value as 5, then square area 25 and then perimeter value 20. Then for the next iterator sequence, what about the value? I will consider a rectangle object R. At the time we are going to make a call for the input data using R object, so that it will get the input for the rectangle length and breadth value, then it will calculate the rectangle area. Okay. So rectangle area, so instead of square it is a rectangle, and here also it is a rectangle. So rectangle area it is 6, as well as what about the perimeter value, it is 10. Okay. So actually in the print statement, instead of square we should make it as a rectangle. So always in abstract base class we should include minimum one abstract method. So whenever if you are going to consider a derived class from the abstract base class, then within a derived class we should redefine the abstract method, then only we can create an object for the subclasses. And in Python we are not having any direct implementation for the abstract base class, so that we should import the module called ABC, then we can create a user defined abstract base class. Thank you.